The Bamboo Project Podcast starts in 3, 2.
Welcome to the Bamboo Project Podcast. My name is DonivanGray, the future $10 billion man. On the way to 10 billion, I decided I'm going to help create 1,000 millionaires, including myself, and not by being a guru or selling a course, but by doing the things I already love to do every day and documenting the journey to get there. I figure I'll make all the mistakes so you don't have to. My name is DonivanGray, and this is how I will turn my life into a living. I'd like to start off by giving a shout out to all the people rocking with us and supporting the channel. We really appreciate you. We are currently streaming on all major streaming platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, you name it, we on it. And if we not on it, we about to be on it. For everyone listening to this podcast and not watching it, you can find us on YouTube at The Bamboo Project. We have over 400 videos on our channel. Actually, I think we just hit 445. You know, we was at 444 last week. You want to learn real estate? We got that. You want cooking tutorials inspired by Dr.Sebi? We got that. Travel and lifestyle vlogs? Got it. You want makeup and hair growth tutorials? Got it. Basketball? Got it. Turo? Got it. It's everything us. All the parts of the journey that do not make it to YouTube will probably be on our story. You can find me on Instagram at DonivanGray, DonivanGray, and my phenomenal, beautiful, amazing girlfriend Anita Byrne, ANETABURN. The Bamboo Project is about turning your life into a living by making money off the things you already do every day. We made different playlists for all the things we're into, and you can find all of those links in the description box below. This may be your first time here, and if it is, welcome to the family. But for everyone else, this is chapter 3, page 115. Okay, this podcast has 4 different segments. We have the life update, episode playback, Donovan's questions, and the topic of the day. All video and audio timestamps will be in the description box below. Today's day is June 1st, and it is a Wednesday. It's 5:15 p.m. So you already know, before we get into what is on the agenda for today, we start off with screen time. And for all those who are new, if I don't take advantage of my phone, then my phone is taking advantage of me. So if I'm gonna become a billionaire, I probably cannot have that. Okay, that's my assumption. I think once I start making more money, I think I'll use my phone less, because I might hire somebody else to do those things on my phone. Who knows? Maybe I use it more. That'd be crazy. If I'm on my phone for 12 hours a day, 15 hours, that'd be wild. Okay, so for last week, my average screen time per day was 10 hours and 30 minutes, which is up from the week before, which was 8 hours and 12 minutes. That's kind of crazy. Oh, wow, that's funny. So I have this new app on my phone. Okay, it's called Wood-Oku. If you ever heard of the original, which is called Sudoku, this is a new game that I've been spending a lot of time on. I spent 5 hours on Saturday on that, and then Sunday I spent 11 hours on my phone. That's probably because I was recording, but I also spent 3.5 hours on YouTube. Let's see this week. Yeah, 10 hours, 11 hours per day. That's crazy. I spent 12 hours on my phone. I spent 12 hours and 3 minutes on my phone on Wednesday. Bro, that is so crazy. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So my average pickups for the week, I picked up my phone on average. That's kind of, wow, that's interesting. That's super low. I picked up my phone on average 66 times per day, which probably means I was on my phone for longer times when I picked it up. And my first used app after pickup last week was YouTube. So, and my total pickups were 462. Okay. Beautiful, phenomenal, amazing girlfriend who stresses me out every morning before the podcast. What is your screen time?
Don't be stressed about.
Sure. I don't know what you want to call it.
My average last week is 7 hours and 6 minutes. Interesting. I spent 13 hours on Instagram, and then 10 hours on TikTok, and then 9 hours on Google Maps. But I think it's because I got my tooth pulled on Monday and all that stuff, so I've just been chilling.
Okay. All right. So, as y'all see by the title, we got robbed again from the house in Philadelphia. I'm not even sure where to start with what happened. So, we were going out to Philly on Friday of last week, right? And we were going out there. Honestly, what were we going out there for?
Oh.
On Friday. Do you remember?
For Philly?
Mm-hmm.
We went out there because we had to deliver.
Oh, the vanity?
Cabinet
Yeah.
before the cabinet guy starts.
Right. So, if y'all have seen the layout in some of the old videos or on my Instagram,
No, it wasn't the cabinet. It was something else.
it was a cabinet. We had to bring it from the vanity. We had to bring the vanity from there over there. And I think it's only the vanity, but it was something else too. I think they had
The other stuff was stolen until we got there.
Yeah, but I think it was a vanity and something else. Because I feel like we didn't just go there for a vanity.
I feel like we kind of did.
Nah, it wasn't just that. Oh, well, we were supposed to get the panels for the refrigerator that we never got. That's what we were supposed to do that, and then also just kind of get an update about what's going on with the house when we got there with the kitchen and stuff. So that was the plan. Okay, so we drove out there. On the way there, we get a phone call, and the phone call says that the house was broken into. We have a lockbox on the outside of the house. They broke off the lockbox, right? Took the key out, because there's two steps. They broke the lockbox off, then broke it open, which I still don't even know how they did that. And then, now I think about it, that's crazy. Wow. I don't think they broke the lockbox. Wow, that's crazy. So, because this is my thing, right? If you break the lockbox off of the door, right, then I don't know how you get the key out once you break it.
I thought that's why I thought they took it off so that they could break it somewhere else.
Right? That's what I was thinking too at first. I'm like, that would be silly, because you would just be breaking all the lockboxes in the neighborhood. Just going down the block, lockbox, break it, right? That's how I would think. What makes more sense to me now is that they opened the code was still on there. They opened it, got the key, and went inside the house and took the lockbox with them. Because my thing is, if you kind of both theories, why keep the lockbox? Right? And I'm like, the only way you can keep it is if you unlock it first and then open the top part off of it.
Well, why even take it if you know the code?
You said, why take it? You have your own lockbox.
What do you mean?
You can use it somewhere else.
For what?
Whatever. If you break it, you can't use it.
I guess.
Because I'm thinking, like, my whole thing was, they broke it off, right, and they took it with them. I'm like, if I'm gonna break the lockbox, I'm gonna just go in the house once I get the key out. Mm-hmm. Right? I don't know how far, unless you need a special.
Oh, because you're saying that there's no more use for it?
Right.
Okay.
So, but like, you can have another use for it if you keep the lockbox intact. And the only way you can do that is if you had the code before you took it off. Which means that somebody might have shut the thing without changing the numbers. And, I mean, you know, I wouldn't be surprised, because it happened already, or with the contractor. So, but anyways, so he gets a call and he says, hey, somebody broke the lockbox off and they took it and they broke into the house, right? I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Did they take anything? He's like, nah, nothing got stolen. I'm like, all right, bet, that's great. Like, at least maybe, because at that point we haven't put any appliances in, we haven't put anything of real value, I feel like, in the house, and that can be taken quickly. And then also the what is it called? The pipes and things that could be stolen are behind the walls. So that's not in there. The appliances are not in there, and neither is the hot water tank, which is a very valuable thing. You know how we know? Because that got stolen like 5 weeks into us even doing this project, right? So there's that. And it was an old one that we weren't even going to use. So we're like, okay, cool. Nothing got stolen. So we get to the house. To our surprise, the guy is still there who's putting up the cabinets, right? So at this point, he just sitting and not doing nothing. So I'm like, hey, what's going on? He was like, yeah, I'm trying to set stuff up. I don't have anything to set it up. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go get the vanities and you could put them in. And I'm like, hey, there's actually one right here. Why don't you put it in? He's like, okay, I didn't know that it was the vanities were here. And I said, hey, you have the handles for the cabinets. You can put those on. He was like, we don't have any handles. I'm like, oh, they're right here. You check in this cabinet because we put them inside the pantry that we have. He opened it up. Well, I opened it up. It was empty. And I'm like, wait a minute. We had 30 handles in here. Like, we had 30 handles in here. How are they all gone? I'm like, damn. I'm like, fuck, these are gone. I'm like, shit, okay. They definitely stole something. So now we check and see what they stole. They stole all of the handles we had, which is each handle is about $4. So that's 4 times 30. Then we had 2 faucets. I forgot the price of those. It might have been $50 to $150, somewhere in that price range.
It was over. Both of them were over 100.
Okay, so $100 for
100, and the other was like 130, I think.
So like 100 and 130 for the faucets, and then we didn't notice at first, but they stole the toilets too. And we're like, though, this is crazy. Like, they really came here and stole the toilets, the faucets, and the handles. That's like $500 plus worth of stuff. And I'm just like, bruh, mind you, the guy who was there doing the work, he was there early because he said he had an appointment for 2 with his wife, so he had to leave. So we were thinking we were going to run into him doing some work. That didn't happen. So while we were there, we were talking to him, just trying to figure out what happened. He said when he got there, the doors were already open. Now, the reason why he was here in the first place was because, as I said earlier, with the layout of the house, we wanted to move down the cabinets and then also move 2 cabinets to the opposite side of the wall where we can put the fridge at, right? That's the plan that we had. He had no idea of this. And I'm like, how could you not have the idea of this if I told my contractor or whoever's managing this project that's what I want to do? How are you here? You never heard this before. So I'm like, bro, this is crazy. So me and him were just chopping it up, kind of talking about the whole situation. And one thing I said before, and I've said this again, I'll say it again. With the contract that we have, I noticed there's like a lack of communication between him and the people that work for him. And I also know that they tend to slight each other when they're talking, right? I feel like it's a weird thing. If you are the contractor managing this project, I pull up and I go, what is that? And he goes, I don't know why they did that. What do you mean you don't know why they did that? How do you not know why they did that? Like, who am I supposed to ask? I'm supposed to ask them? Because here's the thing too. He doesn't really want me to have their numbers as much because I guess I could hire them for a cheaper price or something like that. Or I could find out what their price is and then I could be like, hey, you know, why are you charging me so much as they only charge you X? They charge you $100 and now you're charging me $700. That's crazy. So, right. So like I said, that all things were stolen. So now we're just like, bro, this is crazy because not only were things stolen, they have the key for the house. So we have to get a new lock for the house. So a new lock, and we have to figure out what we're going to do with the lockbox. So we spent most of that day going around to different places to buy all the stuff we needed. We had to buy new toilets. We had to buy new faucets. We had to buy, and honestly, the cabinet was there. They could have stole a cabinet, which they didn't, which is great. I don't know why they did it. You know what? Now I was gonna say maybe it's too big. They stole 2 toilets, so it wasn't that. Bruh, maybe they didn't know what it was.
It said cabinet on the box.
Right, it's a picture. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't steal that.
I think they didn't think it was valuable.
It cost the most out of everything we had.
They didn't know that.
Bruh, that's why I'm like, that was literally the most expensive thing we had in the house. Maybe it's hard to resell a cabinet.
That's why I'm like, I feel like toilets is probably an easier sell.
For $100? Like, how much money you gonna make for a stolen toilet?
Bruh.
$80?
They don't know how much the toilet is worth. They just stole it.
But it's a toilet.
they listen. We could have got a more expensive toilet.
How much is it? I guess like $250.
Right.
Bro, they're gonna be real stressed. They're gonna be like, damn, them motherfuckers cheap as hell. Like we bought $100 toilet, $99 to be exact.
Right. And like you said, the cabinet, because it's not like it's a cabinet set. Like they just gonna have this one lone cabinet.
Bro, they just stole that shit. I'd have been mad. It was like $2 something. So, but either way, so we spent most of the time trying to get back most of the things that were stolen. The vanity, thank God, thank the Lord that we did not put the vanity in there, because that vanity is like $1,000, and if they would have stole that, not only we had to pay another $1,000, a couple things could have happened, right? We may have had to get a different vanity, a cheaper vanity, doesn't look as nice, right? If we decide to get the same vanity, it might not come for another week and a half. So that would delay a lot of the stuff. And the issue we had so far with this guy is that he had to keep coming back to do the work. So he is charging us more for every time he comes back. So we're charging the guy, contractor, more, and we have to pay that. So thank God we had got a storage unit, and something I've been kind of playing with the idea of recently, probably in the last year. I think it's always better to have insurance for everything. And the reason I say that is because I think in the long run, you always save money with insurance. Because think about it like this, right? I got a couple examples. So let's say that in our case, we have insurance for the house, right? For the plumbing system or the sewage, whatever it's plumbing, whatever it is, the water system. Now, we had an issue that cost us $5,000 to fix, right? That insurance was $9. I think it's $9 a month, right? So for us to cover that $5,000 issue, we got $9.99 times let me see, 5,000 divided by, let's just go 10, is 500 months. Okay, divide that by 12. That's 41 years. So 41 years is how much I would have to save up to pay that thing off, right? So I'm paying them $10 a month, and they just gave me $5,000 for fixing what this problem would have been, right? That's how much it would have cost us to fix it. So that makes sense to me, right? Now think about American Express, because we bought the car with Amex. They have purchase protection. So with anything you purchase under $1,000 that gets stolen, you can have them, I guess, like you can file a claim with Amex and they'll reimburse you for it. So that's more insurance, right? And then you think about things like house insurance or health insurance, right? Health insurance will be first. Most things that go wrong with your house are probably going to be expensive. And I think that the amount you pay every month outweighs the cost of whatever breaks down with your house. That's how I look at it, right? So I think with health insurance, a little bit different. I think with health insurance, what you're doing is you are upkeeping with your body, because what you're going to lose may not be money per se, but you will, funny enough, an unhealthy person probably makes the least amount of money. Like you make very little money if you can't function. Like if your teeth are messed up, if your back is messed up, your legs are messed up, your brain's messed up, all these things are messed up, your stomach, gut health, whatever, you're not going to want to go to work. You're going to be tired. You're going to be angry. It's going to fuck up your mood throughout the day. Those things will make you lose money. If an opportunity comes to you and you're in a bad mood because you're not healthy, it's very likely, I'm using me as an example. I start saying I more. It's very likely that I will lose an opportunity because I'm not in a good mood if my health is not in order. So let's say somebody goes, hey, Don, you want to go out with me today? I'm like, man, I'm so tired. I'm going to stay home. Just like that, I could have lost an opportunity by going out because my health is not in order. So I think that when I don't have health insurance though, because I can't afford it, but I think once I have the money to, I will definitely have very high health insurance, or have a very good health insurance. I think it just outweighs the benefit. And honestly, in my opinion, I want to have insurance for everything. If I have it, I'm getting insurance for it, and I'm going to use the insurance. If my phone crack, I'm using the insurance. If I lose renter's insurance, I'm getting stolen, I'm using it. And it's like, you, for most parts, you can keep re-upping on whatever gets stolen. So it's not like, okay, I got my car fixed with my insurance and now I can't use it no more. That's not really the case always, but I learned recently with Melissa's situation that is how that works. Because normally, me personally, I have poor people insurance, so it's free. So there is no limit. I've ever heard that they say you can't do this and that. But Melissa told me recently that there's actually the amount of money that you have to have in your insurance plan. I didn't even know that. She was like, running out. I'm like, what do you mean running out? She's like, yeah, I have $20 left, $100 left. I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, I didn't even know. Like, but when she was telling me that, I still was like, okay. So they put like 20,000 in there, and they just, after that, you just done for the month, for the week, for the year.
I wish it was 20,000.
But I mean, like, how do they choose how much money to give you?
It's you choose your plan. So they tell these are the different plans to choose from, and how much you have to pay per month.
Oh.
So it's like, if I wanted the extra, I could do anything at any time.
I need that plan.
Probably like $1,000. I have no clue,
bro. I'm getting that insurance for sure.
Expensive than I know my plan is. So
bro, I'm getting the best insurance. And honestly, here's my thing, right? With health insurance, I wonder if with health insurance, if it's better to have insurance or to have enough money to pay a doctor directly.
Insurance.
Why you say that?
Because, well, I suppose, I guess you would have to do the math, because if you're not doing anything major, it shouldn't be a problem. Or if you have, like, let's say you put savings to the side in case something major comes up. And then, because I'm like, let's say that you pay $200 a month for insurance. If something costs more than, $2,400, that's going to be real annoying to pay for. But that's not really a lot of money to put to the side. Because you can need something that costs $10,000 that the insurance could have paid for. And so it would only really cost you like $2,400 for the year.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking about, right? I think that applies for poor insurance, right? I'm gonna tell you why. If I'm paying $200 a month for insurance, right? Can I go to the guy that specializes only in my gut microbiome, or do I have to go to like my regular physical therapy, like my regular doctor that everybody else goes to?
It depends on if the doctor takes that insurance or not.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. And that's the thing. Do I have to, because it has to be in your network. Do they have like a specific, like, I guess, occupation or category for everything?
What do you mean?
So like, if you wanted to get your gut checked, do they have insurance for that?
Yeah. It's the same insurance company. It's dental or medical. Or okay. I would probably have to, if it's a specialist, I would probably have to get a referral from my physician.
You see? Actually, I don't know if that's true, because I feel like a lot of times, or I've heard them say things like, we don't, like, when I've seen with people who do their teeth, they say that they will cover almost like the necessities, but they don't, if you want to get like a crown, not a crown, if you want to get like, what are those things called?
Cosmetic?
Yeah, but that's another word for it though, like what they call the
veneers.
Yeah, if you want to get veneers, they say we don't cover that
because it's cosmetic.
Right.
It's not medical.
Right.
Right.
But I'm saying they might have insurance companies that do that.
I don't think so.
Why not? And if they don't, that's what I was saying as far as like certain things with your body. I feel like they might have a leg doctor, right?
I mean, but getting a referral means that, like, because you can still go to a doctor without a referral. That just means you have to pay for it out of pocket. Right. So the referral will just, I guess, just mean that the insurance company will pay for it.
And that's if they choose it. I want to know
how they choose what.
Like what?
Covered?
Yeah. Because like I said, my thing is they might say, okay, you're sick, go to a regular doctor. And I'm like, no, I need a person to do my blood work and test me. That's another thing too. They only test for like 5 things.
But that's not cosmetic.
I know it's not, but I don't think that insurance covers getting this could be I have poor insurance. I don't think they cover if I just wanted to go and see what my
For no.
My phthalates are in my body.
For no reason.
Not no reason.
Like
Phthalates. If I got phthalates in my body, it means I'm probably not healthy. I want to see how much I got. Who do I go to for that? A lobotomist?
Honestly, that's partly. I can see that too because it all depends on your insurance. Because when it comes to lab testing, like they're only allowed a certain amount of lab tests per year that they'll cover, or just nonsense like that.
Right.
It's like I still have money in my plan. This money don't roll over to next year. It expires at the end of the year, and there's things that y'all could have paid for, but you decide not to pay for it.
We don't do that. We don't. So you'll get three of those. That's it.
Yeah.
So.
You're gonna make me upset.
Because I want the best insurance, but again, I don't know if I just want to have my own money to pay for it. Because I think the problem comes in is I think there's a scale. Like when if I'm making $60 million a year, right? I don't think I need insurance.
I don't know about that. Because I'm like, the insurance can still pay for things that you don't feel like paying for.
I guess that's true too, right? I guess that makes sense. Yeah, that's right. It makes sense.
And then when it comes to, because I think when it comes to specialized things, maybe it's like, I understand I have to go. But I think it's even better for specialized things.
Insurance?
Because if you get airlifted into an emergency helicopter and blah, 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 like that's all emergency money that could come straight from insurance.
But here's the thing. Well, first things first. I think this points more to the reason why people have insurance and why I'm going to have more insurance. However, I don't know which procedures are so expensive that when you're making $60 million a year, you can't pay for. Because in our mind, we're like, oh, an airlift costs $50K. Okay, here's $50K. That's nothing.
Right. Okay. I think
it costs $1 million. Here's $1 million. Take it. I'll be fine.
I think after a certain point, it would kind of. I saw it on TikTok. It was kind of cool. This girl had like a money binder, and she has different pockets for the different things she wants to save for. So like her first house, vacation.
How she pull all the money in there? What kind of binder is this? How you fit money for a house in a binder?
It's cash.
I know. How you fit that much money in a binder?
So it's like what she's putting towards, if that makes sense. Like,
is it a big binder? Because I feel like
it's not a binder. It's like a little. It looks like a checkbook, kind of, but thicker. It's like an accordion checkbook. That makes sense.
Because I'm like, how you put $100K in a binder?
That's not how much money she's putting in there.
$20K.
So it's like over a course of like. At the end of the month, she just started it, so she won't have $100K in it. She more so, I think right now the total the binder has is like 18 or 17K. So, but in theory, it'll kind of be like that. Like, I don't know when I'm gonna need to go to the hospital, but I'm gonna just put money to the side just in case I have to go, kind of thing.
Yeah, like I said, that's something I'm gonna be the insurance guy, and I've heard insurance is a scam, but my experience is that it's not. And I also think that I'll never forget. I forgot who had said it, and they said they always get insurance, and they were talking about I think luggage insurance. And the reason I say it again is because I think the amount of time that you will lose something on your luggage, though, if you lose something twice and you're paying insurance for it, I'm pretty sure you get more bang for your buck by getting the insurance than by losing the thing. So. That's my guess. But anyways, back to the house. So where are we at with the house? So we're going over there. We find out that everything is stolen, right? So we spend another $500 on it. I talked to the contractor when he came to the house. We talked about the front of the house. Now, as y'all know, maybe I said it before, maybe I didn't. We're going to get the front of the house pointed. Right, so what that means is I had to learn this obviously because this is my first house flip. But pointing, for those who don't do real estate, that is when you have bricks, right? And that's when you put like a cement or a type of material in between the bricks. So you might see, in your mind, think of a regular brick house. It might have those white lines in between. Older houses, that stuff starts to break out. Maybe the water gets into it. Maybe it erodes, whatever the case is. So you might want to re-up and do it again. So that's what pointing is. So we were going to scrape off all the paint on the house and then point the bricks. Right now, we figured out that that's not going to happen because the bricks are not in good condition. So at this point, it's better to just paint the house, because we would have to take out the bricks and put in new bricks. And when I say not in good condition, they don't look good in terms of what you think of when you see a brick house. These are older bricks, so they're like kind of smooth, and they don't have that like nice, solid brick look. So I didn't really like it. But we did see some nice houses that we could paint in terms of what we could do for our house, and we went with like a white. It's not painted yet, so we're hoping by the next time we go, it's gonna be painted in white. But personally, guys, I think I want to say 3 weeks. I feel like it could be less, but I want to say 3 weeks. Because, okay, I'm going to go down the list of what we have left for everybody, okay? And y'all could tell me what y'all think is going to be, how long it'll take. So, right now, we have to get the front of the house painted. The backyard has to have the ground cemented. We have to put the appliances in. The basement has to be cleaned up, as far as like the ceiling still has like cobwebs and stuff on it, and the walls aren't what's that word called? Parged. Okay, so I was like putting cement on the walls to make them nice and smooth and clean. And then we have to put in the countertop. So the countertop, I'm gonna come back to that. So we're at 6 things right now. Then we also have to put in the faucets, the mirrors in the bathrooms, and I think that's about it. I think that's 8 things I can think of. And the toilets. So that's 9 things, right? Now come back to this counter thing. So counters are expensive, if y'all don't know. Counters are about $40 a square foot. And the counter that we have, or we were gonna get a quartz countertop. You can look it up. It's the very common one that has white and the gray lines. And if you don't know, those lines are called veins. Okay, so I learned. So now when I speak to other people in real estate, I go, yeah, let me get the one with the skinny vein or the thick gray vein. I like that one. Some people like lighter veins, whatever. But now that I'm into real estate, I'm an investor, I know these terms. So we were gonna get that, right? And that's like $4,000 for the size that we have. Now they have this thing at Home Depot, and I don't know if Home Depot, at Lowe's. It's a whole counter you can just buy, but it's not made of like stone. It's made of something completely different. It's like, honestly, it's like a wood in the middle, and then on the top of it has like the same look as quartz. It's a crazy thing. I don't really know what I don't know what it is, but I'm really thinking about getting it. And here's the difference, right? I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna get it. The quartz countertop for the size that we have is gonna be roughly $4,000 or more. $4,000. Okay, as you know, we already out of money. We can't spend $4,000. Like, we're tapped out pretty much, right? This counter from Lowe's for the same amount of space is $200. That's crazy. You got 4,000 and 200. It's a crazy difference. Like, it's mind blowing how crazy it is to me, right? So we're just like, hey, I would definitely go with that. I got to make sure that it can fit and everything else, but yeah, let's do that one. And honestly, I might have somebody. I don't know if I should pay somebody to put it in or have him put it in. I don't know, but. And the reason I'm saying that is because it's something that he has not dealt with. And I don't want to have the problem of him going, well, I don't really know how to install this, or I don't know if I don't really like it, and this guy never dealt with it before. If I have Lowe's do it, they know what it is. They've done it before 100,000 times. They know how it moves, how it works, how it should be put down, how it should be glued, whatever. So I like that. So I might have to look into that one of these days coming up. As far as the house, what else we have left? Like I said, we're almost done. We are almost done, and then we will finally get to see the Bamboo Project take off and become millionaires. The goal for this year, I still have on my calendar, is to hit 100K. Now, this is a little bit unrelated to the house, but one thing I have noticed about myself, and the podcast has helped tremendously with this. I am the problem. Okay, and what I mean by that is, when I look at my yearly goals, right, for the year. I remember an episode, I don't know what number that was, in the beginning of the year. Can you find out what episode that was? The first one we did, the New Year's goals or whatever. We had goals, right? I'm gonna read mine out real quick for those who are new. Episode 94. Okay, so here are my goals for 2022. All right, 10 Airbnbs, 15 cars on Turo, 10 wholesale deals, start going to the gym, read 12 books, move to Atlanta, buy 3 investment properties, complete the house refinance, gross $100,000, get 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, and buy a house or 3-bedroom apartment in Atlanta. Right now, I think that it's all comes down to accountability, and I think the podcast and seeing this on the wall helped me to remain accountable. Because there are days I was reading books, right, and I haven't read a book in a couple months. It's already 6 months. We're already halfway in the year. Like, it's already June. It's right. We're already 6 months. We're already 6 months into the year, and on here, the only thing I could probably say, nothing. Absolutely nothing. And it's funny because I've been considering the gym. In my head, I should go to the gym. I'm start going to the gym. I haven't done it, right? But I forgot it's on my list. Now I'm definitely doing it. Because before I'm like, Donovan, you got to spend $10 a month for it. But, before my excuse was it was COVID and the gym in our building canceled on us. And I don't want to wear a mask at the gym. And I don't want to be vaccinated to go to the gym and work out. None of those things apply anymore. So I can go to the gym without a mask, without a vaccine, and pay the $10 a month to go to the gym. We have a car to drive there, so I have an excuse to. Before, I had to walk there, and my bike wasn't working. I'm like, I don't have to walk in the rain. I don't have to ride my bike in the rain. That's too. We have a car, have a bike. It's nice outside, so I have no reason not to go to the gym. And to be honest, if we're being really honest, here's what sparked me going to the gym. Right? People who listen to the podcast from the gym may know, but maybe they don't know for other people. I played this whack ass dude in basketball, right? And he beat me, right? And I'm gonna say what happened, and y'all can take it how y'all want to take it, okay? To me, he's whack. He's not a good basketball player, right? And he was talking shit in the gym, right? And I'm just like, bro, like, you're not a good ball player. Like, you're really not. He's like, oh, so I'm playing one-on-one. I'm like, mind you, ended the gym like 2 hours into playing. I'm like, you know what, bro? I'm like, I'm good, bro. I don't want to play. I'm good. He's like, nah. You pussy. I'm like, all right, bro, I'll play you, right? So I play this dude. I don't think he could shoot. I don't think he could dribble. I don't think he's good at anything in basketball. He can jump. He's athletic. So, I let him shoot. He hits 3 jump shots, right? I think he makes 3 of them, maybe 2 in a row. I think he makes 3 in a row, right? I'm like, okay. I start playing defense. He misses. I'm like, okay. I get the ball, I miss. He gets the ball, he misses. I get the ball back. I hit a jump shot from the baseline. I hit 2 jump shots from the top of the key, and now the score is 3-3. I think I missed my 4th point for the shot to go by 1. He gets the ball. I think he scores a layup or something. He ends up scoring 2 like ridiculous layups, but like the kind of layups for me, like I said, if you play basketball, people who are athletic, you get some type of leeway. Think about Blake Griffin. When you can jump high, you can make layups. This dude has no left hand. I was just bad. It just annoyed me right to my soul. So he ended up winning 5-3. Now I know you can take how y'all want to. We played for 5 with 1s and 2s. No, with all 1s. And he won. So right. So after the game, I'm like, listen, bro, you think you're nice because you beat me 1-on-1. That lets me know how you are not good at basketball. Like, if you think that 1-on-1 makes you better than somebody, you're even worse than I thought you were at basketball. But I had a problem with that. Now, here's the problem I had. It's something that I have said on the podcast multiple times. It's getting the energy up to do things. And it's one of the situations where if you weren't going to play hard, why play at all? That's how I look at it, right? And I lost. So it's kind of like, well, I didn't play hard. If I wasn't going to play hard, I should have got up. And now I have an L. And I'm just like, I let this whack dude beat me in basketball who was talking shit, right? And for me, one of the reasons, not necessarily him particularly, but just playing basketball for the last couple of weeks, is I'm trying to get back in shape, right? Mostly my lateral movement is off in terms of my quickness, my ankles. I've gained weight. I've been losing it, so that's good. But just things are tight. My back is tight, stuff like that. So I'm like, you know what? People in the gym talking kind of crazy. I'm like, maybe they don't know what, that, they don't know I'm a bucket. Like, they don't know that I really do basketball, right? And with probably like 2 guys, maybe 3 guys there, a couple. Nah, it's like 2 guys or 3 guys that I feel like, okay, we can really go at it, right? But after that, I'm like, bro, y'all shouldn't even be playing on the same court as me, right? So I'm like, I should probably get back in the gym. Just to be healthy for one, and to just really, come to the gym and put players where they're supposed to be at. There needs to be a hierarchy of who knows who's nicer and who's not. That's what I feel like, right? So I was like, I should go to the gym, start lifting weights a little bit, start doing, get on a treadmill, get my endurance up. Just little tiny things. I don't really need much, just a little bit. And I'm like, but then I had those, like, I don't know if I really want to go. But then I see this here. Go to the gym. So now I have an excuse to go to the gym. 2 excuses to go to the gym to play basketball and to my goals for the year. But the reason I was saying that, I think it's my fault, or I take accountability for it personally, is because there are things on here I could probably still do, like read the books, and I haven't read them. I read like 3, then I stopped. And then I don't know if y'all saw that podcast, episode 94. We were like, damn, we had a whole list for the year before. We did like nothing almost, and it was like, shit, that's kind of crazy. I think we did was buy a house. And I think part of that is because personally I just forget the things, and then every day, this is the funny part about having goals. Every day I wake up and say, I don't have to do it today, I could just do it tomorrow. It's not that big a deal. Next thing you know, it's June. It's 6 months. Like, that's half the year. That means that I have 6 months to get 10 Airbnbs, 15 cars, 10 wholesale deals, move. I gotta read 12 books, and I'm already behind. I think I only read 3 books this year. I think either 3 or 4. Either way, I didn't read in May, and I don't think I read in April. So I think I only read 2, 3, something like that. Buy 3 investment properties in 6 months. The house refinance probably not gonna happen, so I'm gonna cross that one off. Gross $100K for the year. Maybe I could refinance a different house and count that. Gross $100K for the year. I think we could definitely do that one for sure. I definitely think we can gross $100K this year, like even within 6 months. Cause right now we're probably at like 20, 30, probably. No, not at 20. We got the candles, twirl a little bit. And we got YouTube, which is doing well. So like YouTube's probably bringing in like 1,000 plus a month. So that would be 12,000 off of that. I think the candles could bring in another couple thousand, or have brought a couple thousand. And I think going forward, it could bring in tens of thousands for the rest of the year. And then 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're at like 4,000 right now. I definitely think we could get 10K by the end of the year. Like I'm like very confident about that one. And then moving to Atlanta and getting an apartment over there are 2 things I also think we can do. But the other 4 or 5 or 6 on here, it's tough. But I know my girlfriend's talking about her list. So.
Yes, I'm talking about my list.
Okay.
So for me, my goals were to read 2 books a month, an average of 24 books for the year. Do 1 craft fair per month, which is like 12 for the year. Get 2 Airbnbs, have 2 plus cars on Turo. 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, edit an average of 1 video a week, so that's 52 videos. I think I've done 1 for the year. Get 1,000 followers on the Ember Candle Co. Instagram. Make 25,000 with the Ember Candle Co. brand. Mm-hmm. Drop an album and find an appraisal mentor. Wow. So honestly, I don't feel terrible about my list. Mm-hmm. I don't. Okay. Because for the year, to read 2 books a month, 24 books for the year. Right now I'm at 8. I read 8 books this year, so far. So I'm like,
4. You gotta read 4 more to be on track, or 2 more. You cannot count in June. Because you would have. Not counting June. So you'd have to be at least 10. Right. So I'm not that behind. Right, just 2. So there's that. The craft fair. So far, we've done 7 craft fairs this year. Mm-hmm. So that means I only have 5 left to do for the rest of the year. That's not bad. Mm-hmm. 2 Airbnbs. We gonna see. 2 plus cars on tour. That means we just need 1 more car, and I hit my goal. So we'll see. I said 15. Okay. And that what? I said that's not my goals. These are mine. Those are your goals. Woo. 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. I think that, so the next,
editing one video per week, I think if I start getting on that and pumping those videos out and posting them, that'll get us to the 10,000 subscribers faster, I think. So those two kind of help each other. I have not been putting emphasis on the candle Instagram as much as I'd like. I used to have everything, I used to have it planned out for the whole month. So, but I don't know how much momentum that's getting me. I think with reels I could get to 1,000 by the end of the year. So making 25,000 with Ember Candle Co. How much do you think we've made so far?
7,000.
7,000? Yeah.
And 7,000?
Right now we're at 7,500.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Right. So
over 1,000 a month.
Yeah, and we haven't done a craft fair in like 2 months.
Right.
So, and then with our new business prospect that's coming up, we'll see how this does.
What's the name of that store? Flying Solo.
Flying Solo.
So yeah, you guys can check us out. We will have our second location, or we'll be in a second location in Manhattan at Flying Solo. You know the address?
It is at 420
West Broadway. So, it's on West Broadway?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was on Broadway. But I thought it was on Broadway. But that would have been easier to go to. But I thought it was on Broadway.
That's all I was saying to you.
But you told me it was on. But no. What I'm saying is because Broadway, I just know where to park on Broadway.
Oh, okay.
West Broadway is like on the side street. So yeah.
And then drop an album. I've been starting to work on it. It's been on my mind. So I think, and then the last one, find an appraisal mentor. Because of the nature of just how things are going, I don't know how much emphasis I'm going to put on that. I still might, because I think it's, important. But I don't know how much emphasis I'm going to put on that. I might have to pay someone to be my appraisal mentor for me to find one. Just because of how much work that goes into that. So I think for sure, though, this was very helpful for me to, I think about my goals all the time. And I think that I do try to take steps to doing it. I buy books. If I see one, I'm okay. Because even if I'm reading one now, if I can get myself hyped up to read another book, I might finish the book I'm on now so I can read that one. Or I can start that one and come back to it. I think having my goals on the forefront of my mind has helped tremendously, because I don't think the candles would be where they are now if I wasn't thinking about it the way that I am. And I feel like having a thing to hit is really helpful, and I feel like my goals are a bit more obtainable.
Here we go again.
Somebody else's.
Okay.
So for me, and when I say obtainable, I mean
realistic.
Not realistic. I don't even want to say that. I want to say that this is repetition. This is more discipline goals than it is.
Same thing.
Than it is
Like I said, I know what I'm capable of. That's why this is not surprising. This to me, this is to me lifting 200 pounds. If I've lifted it before, it's not hard to me.
I think that this, for me, this is trying to get myself to go to the gym every day. That's what this is to me.
Yeah.
It's building habits, not trying to hit milestones, kind of. I feel like that's the difference. Because I don't want to say that it's not obtainable. But this is just it's a different type of goal.
Like I said, I think that, as far as I know personally, maybe the year before, I would kind of say, I think this is the first time that I can remember of you making goals for yourself that are, I don't know how to say, I want to say things you want to do. I feel like from the first Bamboo Project video and then the last one, not this year, the year before this, 2021, I feel like both of those videos, you kind of were I don't really know, I could just do something.
I agree. I think that's why I think this is the most specific I feel like I've been. Right. Where before it's kind of I want to make clothes, I want to sing,
right.
I want to do something. I think I've had, it's crazy, last 4 years. Last 3-4 years I've spent building up skills and to the point where now I can do stuff with them. And I think now I'm at the point where I can do stuff.
Right, and that's why. So I think next year yours will look like that.
Yeah.
Cause like right when you next year you're gonna be like, okay, this year I want to do 500,000 in sales on candles. People are gonna be like, what the fuck, $500,000 in sales. So for me, a lot of these things I haven't done, but I feel like I've acquired the skills to do them, which is why I think that I can do 10 wholesale deals. That's going to be kind of tough just in terms of time, but I think I could do 10 still. That's going to be tough. That's going to be a hard one. While also doing 10 Airbnbs and 15 cars on Turo, I think is easy to get. I think once you have the money, it's easy to get the cars on Turo. I think that one's easy. 10 Airbnbs, I think that's easy too, because you get 3 at a time.
I mean, listen, they was about to give us 15.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I agree with you. Like, it's not hard. We just don't have I was gonna say the real estate. We don't have the tools.
We don't have. It's not even that. We don't have the money.
Yes, not the tools.
That's it. Because if we had the money, we would have had Airbnbs in Philly and Atlanta already.
If we had the money, everything would have been possible.
Our only problem that we have between us, other than Melissa stressing me out, is money problems. We don't have no problems. Like, I can't think of any real problems that we have where it's like I said, I think when Melissa and I argue about stuff, like, okay, I'm gonna get to what happened today. So today, Melissa was looking for this piece that goes onto the tripod or goes into the mic, right? And she asked me where it was. I said, hey, it's over there on the windowsill. And then she got annoyed because she felt like I should help her look for it, right? So she didn't ask me to help her look for it. She felt annoyed by it. I didn't ask her. I didn't help her. So she then goes to ask me a question. She goes, Donovan, can you make sure that you put this piece on a different table in the house so that I know where it is? And I said, no, I'm not doing it, because you're not going to tell me to fix something. I have to have me do an action when you have not tried to do an action, right? Because my issue is like this. Can you do this yourself? Yes. Because here's the thing, right? Here's how preposterous this is. Here's how it sounds to me, so you guys can hear it. That's like me saying to her, hey, Melissa, I want you to watch me take the piece off when I go play basketball, and I want you to make sure that you see me take it off so that you can ask me to put it somewhere else so that it doesn't get lost, right? So that's how I feel. I feel like manage you first, then worry about me. That's my main thing. So we argue about this not all, but like for like, I don't know, 20 minutes, maybe something like that, right? To lo and behold, what you want to say? There was 2 pieces over here on the windowsill, right? But those are arguments and stuff like that. So I don't really feel like we have. So
you're not gonna ask from my perspective? You're not gonna tell them what
for what? You're
not gonna tell them where I was coming from?
Listen, I was trying to save you, but go ahead. Go ahead. Tell them how you came from. Go ahead, Melissa. Tell them how you feel. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. So I can fry you up. Go ahead.
What do you mean?
Go ahead.
I am not sticking to what I said, but where I was coming from was like, if you're gonna take it off, you can put it somewhere that's a more central location.
See why you're scratching your head? Because you know that sounds crazy.
What you mean?
Right. That's why you're scratching your head. You like, damn, this shit sound crazy. Go ahead.
No, anyways, listen. I wanted you to put it in a location that it can't get lost as easily. That's what I was asking you to do. Now, and the reason why I asked you to do that, because you ain't say this part, because I know you're not internalizing that I try not to annoy you. I try. He said, okay, I don't really like when you ask me to look for things that you can find yourself. That's why I didn't ask you to look for.
See, that's not what I said.
So what you said?
I don't like that you feel like I am obligated to help you look for things. That's my problem.
I didn't ask you to help me.
I have a problem with that you feel that I am obligated to help you look for things. That's my problem.
I didn't ask you to help me.
You didn't have to ask me, because then this is the thing. If your feeling of obligation or entitlement, that's a better term. If your entitlement wasn't felt, I wouldn't feel affected by it. So you wouldn't have asked me to put that thing over there. You wouldn't have had an attitude. The only reason things came was because how you felt. Now, if you felt that way and I didn't get that from you, it'd be fine. But that's not what happened. So you don't have to ask me to do it.
But you're mad hypersensitive.
What does that mean?
That's like saying, well, if the thermometer didn't pick up on the temperature, then there wouldn't have been a problem. Like I can't stop you from sensing what I'm feeling. Because I tried to not I tried to not bother. Like, I tried to, like, okay, I know how he feels about this, so I'm not gonna ask him to help me. I asked you instead. I'm like, okay, because he's gonna take this off the thing. Instead of him putting it over there, it's probably easier if you put it over there. So I'm just asking him to do that.
If it's easier, yeah, it's easier for who?
What you mean?
Who's it easier for? Not me.
It's easier for the both of us.
Easier for you, because it's been.
Now I don't have to ask you where it is, and now I know where it is.
Right.
And that's easier.
No, it's easier for you. And it's not even easier for you. You think it's easier for you. It's the only, here's what it comes down to. Melissa wants me to do something. That's what it comes down to. Because I'm going to tell you guys, like I said earlier, the piece was where I said it was from before. Not only was it there was 2 of them there. But Melissa was like, no, I want Donovan to do something different. Other than the thing I've been doing 4 weeks, putting the piece on the windowsill. It's been there for weeks on end.
Well,
every week.
That was the first solution that came to my head.
I know. That's the problem. Is Donovan should fix this. When Donovan did nothing wrong. Donovan didn't do anything. He did the same thing that he does all the time. Okay? It's just fine. That's the problem.
Listen, if you do this all the time and it get lost and have to keep replacing it, I'm like, maybe we should do something else.
We have 3 of them. So how many come in a pack?
I don't know.
Because I'm like,
12.
Oh, because I don't know what other. I don't. So they're all around the house.
Right, but they not. Either way, I have to. I replace them. That's why I don't bother, because it's like, okay, I have another one. I have another one. I have another one.
Right.
Now we getting. I only have 1 left in there, so I'm like, maybe I should say something.
Right. How am I supposed to even know we have more than 1? I have more than 2. How am I supposed to know that? I know you had 12 in there.
Well, I had 12. So that was. I just wanted to say, like, because you be making it seem like I'm just like being annoyed out of nowhere.
Yes.
I know you feel that way.
Yes, that's how I feel.
To me, I'm like, okay. Donovan, he want to take the stand to go play basketball with. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But now, when it's time for me to set up the podcast, because you have such a huge problem with how I set up the podcast and not be ready. So if I tell you to come sit down and whatever, and the mic is not on the stand, you can have a problem with that.
Yes.
Right. So that's how I'm trying to do my job. Now you interfere.
But your job does not have anything to do with me.
You remove the piece from the thing that I'm responsible for and put it somewhere else.
So, and this is what I said to her. I'm going to say this to y'all. You can hear it too. Okay. If Melissa, who is the producer of the podcast and sets the podcast up every Monday or every Tuesday and Wednesday, right? If she knows there's a piece that goes missing every week, according to her, right? And she decides never to take the piece off and put it somewhere so it don't get lost, then decides to go, you know what? To solve this problem, I'm going to tell Donovan to fix this.
Listen, the problem for me was you, because you
I know.
It off. So that's how I'm going to think about solving it. I'm like, okay, Donovan keeps taking this thing off. If I tell him to put it somewhere else, it'll work.
So if I put it over there and I lose it over there, what if I lose it from over there? You gonna put it somewhere else?
Sure.
You keep putting it somewhere else?
I'm gonna put it somewhere else.
All right.
Put it somewhere
Still keep losing it. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, how are you?
But no, because you're saying that like I picked you out of thin air.
Yes.
You the one taking it off.
And I put it over here.
You're not understanding. You're making this not picking on you. Like I'm just making it up. Like, oh, I'm gonna just like the cat did it, but I'm gonna say it was Donovan.
Yes, that's exactly what happens. That's actually what happened. That's literally what happened. That's literally, you said that the cat knocked it in there, and you were telling me all day it was me. So that's literally what happened.
No, listen.
Okay.
The cats could not reach it if you did not put it there. Does that make sense? It makes sense.
What does that mean? It's not lost.
Either way, the issue in my head is you.
I know.
So that's what I'm trying to solve.
That's not the issue.
That's what I thought the issue was.
I know, and that's the problem. And that's what you don't see. That's the problem. That is the problem.
No. The issue is you, because you're the one taking it off. Not because you're in the house. Not because you're around.
But taking off is not a problem.
It's not a problem.
But that
somewhere
where you can find it?
Yes.
Like every week right here.
I was looking for it.
Not hard enough because there's 2 of them.
Question, did you put it inside there? Is that where you put it?
No.
Right, so it's not where you put it.
It's on the windowsill.
It's not where you put
It's all part of the windowsill. If I put it over here and it rolled over here.
It is not where you put it. How would it just roll over? Who's touching it?
It don't matter.
It does matter. And that's what
so if I put this here and end up over here, it's on a table. So what are you telling me?
Donovan, is it where you put it?
Yes, on the windowsill.
Donovan, if you put that memory card over here, right?
Yes.
And you didn't move it, where would it be?
On the table.
It would be in the same spot.
It would be on the table.
It would be in the same position.
It would be on the table.
It would be in the same position.
It would be on the table. Did I say it was over on this side of the windowsill? Did I say it was in the middle? I said it's on the windowsill somewhere. Look on the windowsill. It should be up there.
And I looked.
Obviously you didn't, because there was two of them.
You want to know why I didn't see it?
Because you ain't look. You ain't move nothing.
Donovan want to put a whole case
Oh
of Fiji
my
water
God.
on the windowsill, and it was underneath it. And I'm not looking in the air vent for the screw. I'm looking on top.
Mind you, the air vent is, you can see it. You can see inside. You could look inside and see it. You know, I think it would make sense to look in there. If you know it got a grate, you would go, maybe it fell in the grate.
Listen.
You checked the floor? You checked the floor? No.
I checked the floor. I checked
under here? Checked under here?
Checked in the drawer.
Checked under here?
Listen.
You ain't checking.
I understand what you're saying. I'm not saying that you're wrong for saying what you're saying. However, what I'm saying is that you're not gonna act like you're completely what's the word?
Absolved?
Not absolved. I don't want to say that word.
Okay.
Distance. You're not gonna completely distance yourself from the situation. Like you were not the one that put it on the windowsill. Like,
but that's what I'm trying to tell you. There's no problem with that. So why is...
Do you see how that would cause it to then be pushed into the thing by the little...
There's no problem
we have in here
with that.
I'm not saying there's a problem.
But that it is, because you're telling me to change it.
I'm telling you to change where you place it.
That's changing it.
Where you place
you want me to change...
Where you place it after you take it off.
So are you asking me to change? Are you asking me to change? Yes or no?
I was.
Yes, that's my problem. Because what was happening before was fine.
How was it fine if I can't find it?
Because you didn't look. You didn't look for it. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I looked for it.
Melissa, if it's where I told you it was, and there's two of them there, obviously you're right. You looked very not hard at all.
I looked in different places.
Not where I told you it was at.
I
told you,
and it wasn't there.
To where was it? It was there.
Great.
It was there. So either way, this is our arguments that we have. So the moral of the story is we argue about where the piece for the headphone is at. That's not really a problem. It's stressful and annoying, but it's not really a problem. I don't think there's much underlying issues with that other than the fact that I don't like to be bothered. That's my biggest thing. Don't bother me. Nobody, just leave me alone. That's my whole thing. But those are not things that I would bring up with Melissa for her, well, if she did it continuously, maybe I'd be like, all right, Melissa, you're stressing me out. Why are you doing this every day after we had the conversation? Maybe something like that. All right, you gotta talk about this. But I don't think it's that, because I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think this is part of her core structure. I don't think it's part of my core structure. I think it's just a little nuance, thing, nuisance thing. But I think our biggest problems that we have that really affect our relationship is money. Like, I think those are the only problems that we have as far as where we live. We're together all the time, where we want to go out and do, how we dress, how we look. I think showering, where we live, a lot of different things I feel like can be changed by just having money. And I think those are our problems. All other things I don't feel like we have problems with. So hopefully, like I said, 3 weeks out, this house will be finished and we can wipe our hands clean of this and move on to the rest of the things on this list. But scroll down. This is another thing too, for life update. Maybe we'll do this next year. So I told you guys the candles are finally in the store. They approved us last week, and we finally actually signed whatever we had to sign or pay for what we had to pay for, and now we are in that store. So we will be there July 1st. Will be the first day we're there. So this month of June will be us setting up. So they will be there in July, and we're gonna see how that goes. We're gonna be in 2 stores. We could be in a couple more if we were pressing hard, but we haven't been pressing that hard on it. The house is, like I said, been draining us of everything: time, energy, and money. everything, sex drive, all of it, just drained by the house, just in its entirety. It's crazy. And right, next year I want to do something where it's not really like an event space, but it's more like you call it a flea market. I don't know what it would be called, but when we were doing the craft fairs, right, they were charging us like $300 for the craft fair, like $150 a day, and they had probably like 20 people in there, and it's every weekend. So if you're paying $300 a weekend times 20, 300 times 20 is 6,000, and then you do times 4, that's $24,000 for we would be making off of that. And to me, I'm like, oh, that sounds like a really good thing. I feel like that's a good thing. And depending on how much money you charge, it goes up and down, because some people charge $500 to be in their store, some charge $100, and I think if we can get into that, is a lot of money, because I really feel like the billionaires' money is made from high ticket items and selling to other businesses and building a platform. Those are 3 things I think it takes to have a $1 billion company, and I'm working on building those 3. So that was it for Life Update. Now, episode playback. Last week I talked about letting a guy sleep with my girlfriend. Now, I wasn't sure why I did that, because it sounded crazy last week when I was trying to explain it. And I called my friend. He ended up calling me back later. So here was the mindset I had back then, because I forgot what it was until we had that conversation. So when it comes to dating women, if you want a toxic relationship, you want to make her feel as less than as often as you can, right? You want to make her feel like a lesser person. Hey, if you want to have a toxic relationship, this is what you do. Now, you also want to have control over her whole entire life, to like 98% if you can, right? The reason I say this is because it stimulates or triggers the primal feelings in her, right? So that was my mindset when letting a guy sleep with my girl. The plan was that she has to do whatever I say in the moment that she's having sex with somebody else. So I would be there. Again, I know it sounds crazy. I would be there while someone is having sex with my girlfriend, but she can only do what I tell her to do during that time, right? Now, it will be like, hey, you have to sit up like this. You have to turn around like this. You have to give me head while he's doing this. You can only do it for this amount of time. All right, that's enough. We're leaving. And it sounds crazy. It's a crazy thing, right? But I think that there's a lot of truth to it. I never got to be there when it happened, but I definitely would have conversations with them after it. And I vaguely remember talking to one girl about it, and her response was kind of like, in my mind, I would think that a girl would be super turned off by it, but through the conversation, it's kind of like, well, why would you want to do that? It was kind of like that. And I was like, well, you could see me there. You could be giving me head while he's doing. Listen, it sounds crazy, I know, but it was just part of the theory. Some people may know what I'm talking about. Others may not know what I'm referring to, but that is the premise behind letting another guy sleep with my girlfriend or my girl. Not Melissa though, because she's mine and nobody can sleep with her but me. And who else? Let me think. No, just me. Yeah. She listen. I'm looking at her right now. She be looking real fine lately. Her skin been clearing up, and she got these anime things going on. So only thing, once we get her toenails and her fingernails in order, then I know that's one of the problems. Listen. I'm still complain. I'm still complaining because I still gotta see it. So once we get those in order, I'm gonna start posting pictures on Instagram too.
No, don't do that.
I am. When you get them fixed, not now.
Oh.
Not now. I might post them before and after.
Why would you even do that to me?
No. I wouldn't do that because I was embarrassing myself. I would never do that. I never embarrass myself like that. But I'm gonna have the fingernails done, the toenails done all the time, pedicures and manicures, everything.
They growing too.
Yeah, I know, but I've been seeing you trying to bite them. I've been seeing you looking at them like, ooh, they just look so delicious. But I see you trying not to. I've noticed you trying not to bite them. So that wraps it up for today's podcast. We will be back here next Tuesday. You can find all of the behind the scenes content on our social medias. Mine is DonivanGray, DonivanGray, and my phenomenal, beautiful, amazing girlfriend, Anita Byrne, ANETABURN. Okay, you guys know what it is. Hashtag Bamboo Project 2022. This year is going to be a movie. We got 6 months left to turn this into one of the craziest stories y'all ever seen. Okay, and with that being said, Bamboo Project out.